Remote reality, yeah, that's the key. Unlocking stories wild and free. With the host, side by side. Channel surfers, let's ride.
Welcome to Remote Reality. This is Lauren.
And this is Dee.
Hey, Channel Surfers. We had such good intentions to try to get a lot more content out this week, but my son brought him something from preschool. I'm not sure what it is, but it has left me ravaged and in bed all weekend.
Are you feeling any better?
I am. I was drinking a lot of hot water with lemon and honey. And then Dee sent me a text message with a suggestion.
Yes, some Tennessee whiskey with honey. That seems to be my go-to for my hot toddies.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I did the honey and water, and it worked. I did not have any whiskey on hand. I have some Kahlua still from Christmas.
That might have worked, but I think the whiskey and the toddy would have maybe gotten you over it a couple of days ago.
Yeah. So how was your weekend?
It was good. As you know, I recently became a beach again. Yes.
Dee's grandchildren call her Beach because we live at the beach. So
yes.
What's up, beaches?
I am looking forward to going up this weekend to finally see him. I've just gotten pictures. That's it. Any Liz update?
Well, Liz is back in town. Let me pull out my text messages. So she had told me last week that she was going to be out in the middle of nowhere, barely any phone service through Sunday. She's told me, even going into this, that she wasn't going to have a lot of free time until June. I mean, she's got 2 kids that are in school, one that's about to go off to college. So I knew she was going to be busy. Maybe this was not the best show to start our podcast with.
Yeah.
In retrospect, since Liz is very busy and since this show, just, it's wow.
Every week.
It's maybe a train wreck. It might not be everybody's favorite show.
Yeah. Well, that's true, but maybe she can do some true crime with you.
Well, we're going to do some other shows.
Yeah.
We've talked about maybe the 90-Day Fiancé, Hunt for Love. But the other day she texted me when she got home. She got home on Monday, and she said, we should cover Netflix, A Deadly American Marriage. And I said, girl, I did that last week. But she hasn't had any services. And then our old roommate, Will, he sent me a text this weekend, and I was kind of worried. Let me find it. On Sunday, I got a message from Will, and it said, hey, have you talked to Liz in the last 3 days? And I'm like, oh, gosh, no. Did something happen? That seems normal. And I said, no, why? She was in Florida. And he said, okay, all right, well, this is not giving me the details I need. Why wouldn't I have talked to her in 3 days? I knew I wasn't going to talk to her in 3 days. And I said she wasn't going to have good cell phone service. And then I sent him a screenshot of the text she had sent me explaining that she's out of town. And then Will said, I texted her for 3 days and I didn't hear anything. So I was a little concerned. And Will told me that he and his wife tickets for Dispatch, She Love, and the Special Sauce and the John Butler Trio. But his wife's going to be out of town, and it's going to be at the Firefly Distillery, which I love. It's so much fun. Firefly is a local Charleston distillery here, and they have amazing spirits. They have like banana pudding. One of the ones I think is probably more well-known would be their sweet tea vodka.
I was going to say my son and one of his previous girlfriends had gone down there a few years ago, and they had brought me back I believe it was the sweet tea moonshine.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they have good moonshines, too. And you can do a tasting. But they have a lot of lawn space, so they're doing the show there. And his wife's going to be out of town, so Will was going to ask Liz to go, and I was like, well, I want to go. If Liz is going, I'm going. Liz and I went to go see G-Love, probably 10 years ago. And she knows G-Love. Like, afterwards, we got to hang out with him on his tour bus.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was fun. But I told her about the show. I was like, and if you go, I'm going too. But I think it would be fun, the 3 of us.
Yeah. And Liz will have more underwear stories.
Yes. Gosh, I hope not. I'd rather have more tour bus stories.
I know, but I just can't get over the whole underwear stories. My underwear has stories.
She will need to come and tell us. But yeah, so today we are talking about Polyfamily, Season 1, Episode 4, Oh My Quad. What season are we in?
Well, it starts out talking about them going to a Santa event, but the clips leading up to it definitely look like fall. Did not look like a December season to me.
I agree. At first, we saw this bridge over water. There's an aerial view of these older, large homes, and there's beautiful yellow, orange, and red trees. I'm always noticing the foliage because we don't get that down here in Charleston.
No, that is one of the things I miss from where I used to live.
I miss seasons.
Yeah.
Nah, not really. Beach season's all I need.
I'm with you.
Well, and football season.
Yes.
I digress. So I thought we were going to get some lovely fall activities. And then all of a sudden, there's some little cute plaid reindeer, brick walls. They're talking about doing letters to Santa, coloring contests. We're at Christmas time. Raina walks in and her hair looks like mistletoe. She has a green tint in her hair and red berries on the beret. Do you think people kiss when they see her hair?
Probably. I didn't even think about that.
Tyler says that things have been better with Sean since they had that talk that was highly produced last week, and that they don't have much in common, but what they do have in common is this beautiful family that they've built together.
Yeah, they both seem to want to work on everything for the kids.
They want to keep acting out this storyline.
Sean is introducing Taya to Kyle, the event planner. He introduces her as his wife, and then he introduces Alysia as his girlfriend. Kyle's visible reaction isn't a lot, but the guy standing next to him, his face is priceless.
Well, does the guy look shocked?
Yeah, he looks, I would say, almost like, I wish that was me.
Oh, God, no. That's a lot of work, sir. They should have interviewed him.
I was hoping the guy next to Kyle was the one that they would interview, but they actually interview Kyle.
Well, Kyle, he says he thought they were joking.
Yeah, and that he thinks it's great if it works for them and they're happy. And then he went on to say, but it's not for me. I would really have liked to seen the guy next to him be interviewed.
I'm going to have to go back and watch that. I missed his face.
Yeah, it was good.
So then we get to the pictures with Santa and the baby's sleeping. And Sean says maybe Santa can hold him and we can get that elusive family photo where no one's crying. And I was thinking, good luck. Yeah, right. My son is so scared of Santa. We went with his PK3 class to this petting zoo at Christmas, and they had a Santa, and all the kids were in over there to take a picture. Jake wouldn't even go up there with them. He was so scared.
Get the picture really, really quick before he notices what's going on.
I was surprised it worked. So Sean asked Taya if Santa has multiple Mrs. Clauses. And Sean says, I'm sure he does. It's boring. They aren't just making toys there.
I believe he said something to the effect that there's some weird shit going down up there. They're not just making toys. Yeah.
That's not how you make toys, Sean.
It's not. Well, not the kind that go under the tree.
Gosh, I hope that's not how Santa makes toys. What if that's how Santa makes toys? What if Santa has a bunch of Mrs. Clauses and he's just insperminating them and that makes Christmas toys?
I don't know if I want to share that one.
I'm now genuinely terrified. Santa, you cannot come to my house.
Yeah, no more toys for you, Lauren.
I'm good. I don't want Santa's little jiggly biscuit.
But I have to say, because you know that I've not been a Sean fan, watching him do that scene and the humor that he had in it did make me kind of giggle and be like, okay, the guy does have a little bit of a sense of humor and we're finally starting to see it.
Yeah. Sarcastic.
Sarcasm is right up my lane.
Then Tyler is talking to Kyle. And he explains to Kyle that the two oldest children were his and Alicia's before they became a quad. And Kyle can relate. And this is something we've said in our last few episodes. This is very relatable. Kyle says that the two kids out of the four he has with his wife are from his wife's previous marriage. And he says he loves them just like they are his. It's not blood that makes the parent.
It's a great analogy for him to use when trying to explain their situation to people, because step parents is something that's very relatable for everybody.
Right. It just shows with these modern families, even with divorce, that's not uncommon, that non-biological parents are parenting.
Right. Well, even not just divorce. There's so many people that aren't even getting married that have children together nowadays. And if they split up and somebody else comes into the picture or one of the parents eventually gets married.
So the family is in the living room. They're playing on the floor. They've got like these gym cushions. What do you call those? Like gymnastic pillows?
I honestly thought they were just cushions off of the couch, maybe, that the kids were jumping on.
They had those, but then they had these multicolored triangles, cylinders on the floor.
Tumbling pillows.
Maybe. I don't know. It's something that I've seen in gyms.
Never seen them.
And we see Barrett and Carver. They're 7 months apart. They're playing together. I didn't even think about this. Alysia says they might not be biologically related at all. That's the first time that crossed my mind.
Yeah, because I never thought of it that way. They all present as a family to me when I'm watching the show. So my brain just automatically goes there that they're brothers. But yeah, they may not be biological brothers.
I realized that Sean might not be any of the kids' father, but I never thought about how if Sean and Alysia had Barrett and Taya and Tyler had Carver, they don't have any blood relation.
No.
Not that it matters. Family
Right.
is family. So they're having fun in the living room, playing around, doing the parachute thing with the blanket.
Jumping down onto those cushions, those gym tumbler pillows, whatever they are.
And we get a little bit more information about what they mean by legal right.
Yeah, they're talking about potentially going to see an attorney, what their biggest fears are. They just don't want to lose the kids. They don't want the kids to be separated at any point.
Taya says her biggest fear is if something happens to her, Tyler, or Alysia, that she would be separated from Barrett, Dylan, and Raina. Now, as far as legal, it looks like they've done a little Google research on third-party adoption, and they wonder who's the right person to talk to about third-party adoption. What do you think, Dee? Who should they talk to about third-party adoption?
I would have thought an adoption attorney. I would think that they would know a lot of information about that and be the right choice. But family law.
Well, that's what I was thinking, an attorney. And that's the first thing they say. But then they go on to say, well, I don't know. What about an adoption agency? Why are these people trying to avoid talking to an attorney?
Well, I didn't even catch that. I thought they had said an adoption attorney, but they said an adoption
They
agency.
said an adoption agency. After they said an attorney, somebody said, well, what about an adoption agency? And I think Sean said, well, I don't think they do third-party adoptions.
They all want to be able to legally say they are the children's parents across the board.
So the next thing I notice is that Chewini. He's
Again,
just standing there, that little tan Chewini with his little ears pointed straight up. So cute.
we're dog people. We're so totally dog people.
We're polydoggerous.
I know.
But the baby is getting hungry. Alicia's holding the baby and she's like, oh, this baby's starving. And she gives the baby a kiss and passes him to Sean. And then Sean gives him a kiss and passes him to Tyler. And Tyler gives him a kiss and passes him to Taya. And Taya goes to give him a kiss and she's like, this baby smells bad.
Like that baby was like a hot potato. They could all smell it. You know they did.
That's what I was thinking. What are the chances that they did not smell that baby when they were leaning in for those baby kisses?
Yeah, slim to none.
So they talk about their sleeping arrangements. What did you think about that?
I thought that Alysia is getting the short end of the stick, kind of.
I was jealous. It doesn't sound like she's having to get up with that baby at all.
No, but as far as the romance area, the guys are sleeping as soon as they get with her because they're taking turns changing baby diapers all night with Taya. And Taya is rolling over and acting like she doesn't hear, doesn't smell. She's sleeping away.
That's the short end of the stick. You'd rather be Taya with the baby up all night, every night with the guys than actually getting some sleep and cuddle
Well,
time?
I thought that Alysia was getting the romantic short end of the stick because the guys are sleeping when they come with her because they're doing all of this other stuff in Taya's room.
Anyway, they want to inject the romance back in. They want to inject romance back into their lives.
Yeah, they want to start going back out on their romantic date night Date night. Honestly, I was just sitting there going, how fucking complicated can it be? You guys are sitting here talking about drawing straws, rock, paper, scissors, and Tyler comes in with this rock, paper, shoes. What is that? I've never heard of rock, paper, shoes before.
I've never heard of that either. But Rob, he calls rock, paper, scissors Rochambeau.
Okay, explain.
I don't know. He plays with Jake and he says it's Rochambeau. Let me Google it. I don't know where that comes from. I see it's a furniture company. Yeah. What does Rochambeau mean?
I have never heard it.
Yeah, Rochambeau. I've never heard it called that either until Rob, but it says
Is it a
that.
foreign language use of it?
Well, I see Wiktionary. It says the game of rock, paper, scissors as 3 words, Rochambeau, the syllables called out by players of rock, paper, scissors to synchronize their timing.
Well, I learned something new today.
Maybe that's what Tyler was saying. Not shoe, but sham. Rochambeau.
Possibility.
I wonder where it comes from.
I just thought he was saying shoe.
The term Rochambeau is an Americanized version of the Japanese name for the game rock, paper, scissors, which is Jonkenpon. I don't know. Can Google tell me how to say that?
I feel like we're going down a rabbit hole.
We are. I don't know. It says in Japanese, when pronounced, Jonkenpon has a very similar sound to Rochambeau. Interesting.
Very.
Well, maybe that, I don't know. Rock, paper, shoes. But Tyler was almost acting like he didn't know what this game was.
They were having to explain it to him.
Yeah.
Like, which one won over rock, papers, and scissors?
And he had beginner's luck. He won with paper.
He won right off the bat.
Tyler wins.
Yes, and he chooses Taya to go on the date. The date night.
According to Taya, Sean will wake up instantly and go take care of the baby's diaper in the middle of the night. Whereas Tyler, she has to jiggle him around a little bit. So he needs that break. But
Yeah.
Taya does too. Taya absolutely deserves to be first on this date. Although she's not feeling her sexy time. So it's been so long since they've dated. Taya and Alysia, they can't remember who the last date was with or when the last time they went out was. And Taya's not feeling romantic postpartum after 2 months. How long does it take to feel romantic postpartum? I'm still waiting on it.
Oh my gosh. I would say a good probably 6 months.
It's probably my postpartum depression meds then.
What's my excuse?
I don't know. Maybe it's because we're older.
Yeah, I'm not feeling romantic right now. Everything. I'm menopausal, so I don't feel romantic at all.
I just feel like I've got a terrible head cold. So Alysia says she doesn't want to know the details of the intimacy that Sean or Tyler have with Taya because she compares herself. I don't know that I would want to know. I don't want to know anybody's. Yeah, I wouldn't want to know their business.
The same way. I don't think I would want to know that. The whole situation would be difficult for me anyway, let alone knowing what's going on when they're together. And then you throw in the fact that what she does see, she says is actually making her feel like they have a beautiful relationship together, Tyler and Taya, and that they're very in love, more love than her sometimes.
And I see where she and Tyler are in love. So I wonder if she is not seeing it within herself.
Yeah, maybe an insecurity that she's dealing with. She's not been able to connect with Sean either, as far as like wanting him to trust her and talk to her about things and have that intimacy, because she does have that with Tyler. You know, he's her person.
Well, I don't think she has anything to worry about right now because I'm pretty sure all of the nights spent in Taya's bedroom are sleepless, diaper changing, baby feeding nights. And I'm not talking about the guys baby feeding. They're not the ones breastfeeding. This is all about BBQ.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of romance going on in that bedroom.
No, whatever snuggle time Alicia's getting with the guys, that is the most intimacy they're getting all week.
Yeah, get some major spooning and that's about it.
So finally, they are going to an attorney's office. Yay! Finally. Woohoo! As an afterthought, but at least it's a thought. And this is a cute office. It looks like a little garden house. There's garden themed doors, like stained glass windows with leaves and flowers. There's wallpaper that has leaves all over it. It's really cute.
It's very welcoming. I thought the same thing when I was watching that part, how cute the office for the attorney was.
Very cute. Ours is more of a coastal theme.
Very Rainbow Row.
Oh, yeah. Well, our building is like a rainbow row. Yeah, our building that's exactly what it looks like, is Rainbow Row. A stretch of buildings, but even inside the coastal decor.
I love my beach themes on everything right now.
Me too. So Ray is the attorney, and she's so nice. She's asking them, how can I help you today? What's going on? So they're explaining this very complicated relationship to the attorney, and she just goes, okay. That's a great answer. Okay. At this point, I would be grabbing a pen and charting this thing out.
Well, I think she even said something to the effect, I've dealt with a lot of different kind of families, but never a polyamory.
And that's always fun when someone comes to you with an issue you've never seen before, or the courts haven't addressed an issue of first impression, because you don't know how they will rule. But she talks about precedent here. And what precedent is in law, when a court decides a case, that case binds later cases to the same logical ruling. There are no cases, it appears, that deal with polyamorous couples and having equal parenting. And Ray says what I've been saying from the beginning, which is that when you do an adoption, you usually terminate the parental rights of one parent. She talks about the rebuttable presumption of paternity, which I think we talked about in the first episode, where the spouse is presumed by the law to be the parent, but that presumption can be rebutted with evidence like a paternity test. And she explains that the process to try to get equal parenting rights over the 5 children would be to take it to court. The judge would likely say no because there's no law to support it. When you go into a court, you plead a case in accordance with the law and show the judge why the law allows whatever you're pleading, whatever rights you're trying to seek. And then she said it would go to appeals. And of course, the appeals court, they look at the issues based on the law as well. So they would reject it. And she says something that we've had to tell people sometimes, which is write your legislature. There's not a remedy for this right now. We need the law to change. The courts can't change the law. They interpret the law that's already there. They interpret the meaning of the written law that's already there. They interpret people's facts and how they apply to that written law in cases and precedent. But when you're talking about having something completely new, you have to change legislation. I wonder, though, let's say that Tyler and Alysia, oh gosh, I'm doing this attorney thing where I'm about to hypothetically kill off people. But let's say that Tyler and Alysia unexpectedly pass away. And they prefer the guardians of their children to be Sean and Taya. You can't just give your children away in a will. They're not property. But a lot of times the courts will look at that preference when determining the legal custodian of the children after a parent has passed away. Now, they might give preference to family members, but at the end of the day, a lot of family law revolves around what's in the best interest of the child. And I wonder if that psychological parent argument could come up, that Sean and Taya have acted as their parents and it would be in their best interest to keep living there with their siblings. I think there could be a persuasive argument depending on how the law is in Oregon. I don't know the law in Oregon.
I definitely can see where their concerns would be if someone had passed away, but it doesn't sound like there's going to be any kind of resolution, like if the quad itself broke up.
Right. During a divorce, those child custody issues are going to come in play. This is every single thing we have talked about every episode.
Every episode.
This is why you go talk to the attorneys before you'd make these decisions. But nobody thinks about that. To be fair, they are living their lives. They don't want to hear about the consequences that could come up until after.
Yeah, they should have really thought with their brains instead of below the pants before all of this.
How many of us do, though?
Not a whole lot, but they're a lot older than most people that do that, though.
I know, but even...
I know.
How many people do you know in their 40s and 50s who are making these dumb mistakes?
I think we're going to make dumb mistakes until we die. That's how we learn.
I don't make dumb mistakes. No, I'm just kidding.
You probably don't, Miss Perfect.
No, you're right. That's how we learn. Just review what you've done.
Hindsight's always 2020. I think that's one of the best expressions that we hear. And it's always when something's been done too late.
So after they leave the attorney's office, they're going to Raul's family Mexican restaurant to meet Taya's dad and her brother and sister. I don't think we've met them before.
No, I think this is the first time that we've seen them show up in any of the episodes.
You would have remembered.
I would have remembered that dad. He is hot. The whole family is good looking, actually. The daughter is also very beautiful, but the dad, yeah, I'm not going to forget him. And he has great character after you watch the scene, too.
He really does. I really like Taya's family, but it's dad, James, brother James, and then Olivia, which is spelled Alivya. I've never heard of that name.
I've
like
never
Olivia.
Yeah, I've never seen it spelled that way. I would definitely have mispronounced it if I was just looking at it and didn't hear them say it.
15 years younger than Taya. And
I think her brother was, 2 years younger than her?
Yeah. So the way that they're playing this is that they're showing up so late. I don't think production and the cameras have just been sitting around the restaurant waiting for everyone to show up. I'm pretty sure it was just a way to introduce why they were already sitting there.
Good point. I would say so too. Yeah.
So her dad must be about 6 feet tall because she's 6 feet tall and they look like they're about the same height. So he's tall and handsome.
He's tall and handsome.
What did you like about him?
I don't know. There's just something that stuck out as soon as I saw him. I was like, wow, that's a good looking guy. Because there's not that many in my age group anymore.
Would you rather have a sip of that margarita or a sip of James?
Ooh, tough choice. Can I do both?
That sounds like even more fun. Daddy.
Yeah, I was thinking he should have been in the last episode with Who's Your Daddy? I was singing as we were watching.
So they explain the terminating parental rights involved in adoption, which for short, I usually called TPR, and that you can't legally have more than 2 parents, and that it will be a long process regardless of whether that attorney does it or someone else. Not only a long process, but not likely a process that ends with the results that you want, because that's just not what the law recognizes. But their main concern is that they're worried if something happened to Alysia and Tyler, maybe Alicia's dad or another family member would come in and fight for custody.
Yeah. She said that she was worried they would want to take the kids and have a guardianship. And that was one of her biggest fears.
Because they don't agree with the lifestyle. So they may come and assert their biological role to try to get the kids. But you're still going to look at the best interest of the children. So I don't know. That's a tough one. Depends on your state, but they'll look at, are you going to be with other siblings? I think the court would try to keep the family together. I don't know, though, because I go back to that whole, the family court is a court of equity and bigamy is illegal. If it's illegal, it's addressed by the law and banned by the law. And it's supposed to further the law. I don't know. Ray definitely had this look on her face where she was just analyzing, and that's been my brain since I started watching this show. But yeah, I love Taya's dad.
I just love, of course, how good looking he is. But also, he said the one thing that I think
he said.
I know.
I didn't think you heard anything. I just saw like the little eyeballs start rolling around in the back of your head and your tongue hanging out like Pepe Le Pew or something.
I know. I'm sitting here trying to like form a thought in a sentence right now, and I'm having trouble doing that. But I do remember one thing he said, okay? He said that as long as his daughter was happy, that's all that mattered to him, and that he would support them. And I think that's just the best parent statement that any parent can make to their children.
As long as they're not doing anything dangerous.
Yeah. After that, I was just, mooning over him while I watched him on the screen.
Well, Alysia, she starts crying during this scene, and Tyler says how appreciative he is of James supporting them. James says, having y'all as family is great. So whatever's going to work for you, I've got you, which that just means so much to them because Alysia, her dad doesn't even talk to them. I mean, as good as it feels that this is her family, it crushes Alicia that this is not Alicia's family.
Yeah, Alicia says that she wished that her dad would at least get to know them so that he might love them the way that she does and see how happy that they are together.
Not even giving them a chance, at least according to the edit. But yeah, Taya's family is wonderful.
I agree. I would love to have her family. I would love to have her family.
And Tyler knows what Alicia's gone through. He's been through some of it with his mom not wanting to publicly support them. So he really appreciates it. And James said, well, I appreciate you. You can just tell her family's just so loving.
I'm in love.
You're in love.
I'm in love.
You're in lust.
James, listen to this podcast.
867-5309. That's Steve's phone number. 867-5309. 675-309.
We're going to start singing now.
Oh, no. I offend people when I do that. Anyway, we go over to toddler bath time, which that's always a circus.
Crazy, the stuff that they get into in the tub.
It is. And it might not be as big of a deal because they do have the shower like built in around the garden tub. Did you see the shower?
Yeah. I actually always used the shower with my kids. It was so much easier once they got to a certain age.
Well, it was a bathtub.
I know. It was a bathtub and a shower, but I would always use the shower part, not the tub.
Well, it was like a bathtub, but they built the shower. I don't know what you call it. What do you call the
surround?
Yeah, like the glass. They like built that around instead of using a shower curtain.
Yeah, that would give it a nice open feeling.
A shower curtain?
No. The open glass without the shower curtain. I like that.
I don't know. I would rather have a shower curtain because it looks like they're just shoved into a little corner. I didn't like that. And you know what? I don't even know what they're called, but I have those in 2 of my bathrooms over the tubs, not in the master bath, but in the other 2 bathrooms. I just don't like it. Like if you're sitting in the bathtub, you've got this big pane of glass beside you. And then when you're trying to wash the kids, talking about toddler bath time, Jake usually uses my garden tub because trying to wash a kid with those glass panels, it's not like a curtain where you can just open it up.
Well, and it's actually kind of scary too. I'm always concerned with something like that they would fall through the glass.
Well, it's screwed in there pretty good. They like screw it into the walls. I don't know how they put it together. I'd rather have a shower curtain, but I'm too lazy to take those apart. Then we cut to Taya and she's on a video call with someone. She has no knees in her jeans.
I didn't even notice that.
Not at all. Those holes are ripped so big that you just got knees.
She's making a fashion statement, Lauren.
What is this statement? She's holy?
Potentially. Yeah, maybe. We could go there.
So she's on video chat with Lex.
Lex is a very attractive lady, too.
She is, and they have so much in common. They're both polyamorous. They both have 5 kids. They're both pansexual.
A lot of flirting going on this call, too. I noticed right away. Taya is all smiles. I haven't seen that girl smile that much in the last 3 episodes as I did during that clip.
Did you hear how she answered, have you ever dated Lex? She's like, I wish.
She wants
Sassy.
to. Sassy.
They also are both breast pumping.
What was the whole thing with the stickers?
Yes. So they were saying that they need to drink a lot of water to keep up their supply for breastfeeding and breast pumping. And she said, well, just give yourself a sticker every time you drink a water. And then when you get 20 of them, Lex will come visit.
Mm-hmm.
Lex was pumping in her car.
Ooh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
I was caught on the part where Taya was saying that Lex was like her biggest support system through her pregnancy and the birth. And I was like, and we're just now hearing about this person now?
Well, also, she's your biggest support system, but she's 12 hours away.
And you have 3 other people that you're supposed to be in a relationship with in the house.
Maybe she meant to say that was the person I was thinking about the most during my pregnancy.
Maybe she's thinking about her in a lot of other places, too.
But yeah, I noticed that Lex was in her car. She had like a gray sunroof, moonroof, and she just pulls out the breast pumps, just hanging out in her car. But yeah, they said, are you drinking enough water? Immediately, I thought about our circles.
Well, yes, I meant to tell you that I just opened up the sweet tea filter, and I love it. It is so good.
So my mom got me this circle cup for my birthday, and it has like little filters that you put on it. And some of them have like B vitamins, some of them have caffeine, some of them are just flavor. They don't have dyes or anything. And this is not a sponsorship to be sponsoring us. I'm sponsoring us.
Yes, we will share anytime we love something.
Yes. Yeah. These circle cups. I liked it so much that I got D one for her birthday. But right now I'm drinking the Life Sip Passion Orange Guava. It's really yummy. They don't have any dyes in them. They don't have any calories, any sugar. My mom was drinking it yesterday because I got one for my mom for her birthday too. And she likes the berry blue punch. I don't know what it's called. It's one of the energy ones. It's Jake's favorite. And he just calls it the McDonald's drink because it tastes like the blue drink at McDonald's.
I think I ordered about a dozen cartridges about a week ago, and every one of them were caffeine. So you know where I'm going with mine.
I am drinking more water than I ever drink.
Yeah, I hate water. I am not a water drinker. And this has me drinking at least, what are those, 40 ounces, 30 ounces?
I think these are the 40 ounce. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm drinking at least one of those, sometimes two a day with these flavors.
Yeah. Well, you like to turn the dial to flavor. Like I'll switch between flavor and no flavor because I like to drink water.
Not me.
My God, you know what? Circle sponsor us.
We'd be great.
At least pay what it costs for us to make the podcast.
Hey, I want some filters as well.
Throw a few of those in.
Yeah. Give me some flavor.
But that's what I thought. As soon as she was like, you need to drink more water, I was like, you need a circle.
Yeah. I love mine.
Anyway, so yes, we meet Lex. Lady Lex.
I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of her, I have a feeling.
Sexy Lexi. So now it's time for some bonding time with Taya and Tyler.
I don't think bonding is what that guy has in mind at all.
Oh, no, he's looking to cuff up.
Yeah, she didn't even understand.
Nope, that's not what she heard. She thought she heard vibrator. I don't know how she got that out of, is your bag ready to go?
No, I don't either. I don't think he's listening. Like everything he is saying is he's got sex on the brain. He can't wait to get to where they're going.
They're at the house. They're packing up. Tyler has planned this romantic getaway at the coast. It's about an hour away. Taya says that Tyler is the most romantic person she's ever met. And Alysia 100% supports them going, but she's jealous. Alicia said she's also a romantic, and she loves when Tyler does over-the-top romantic stuff, and she wants the same effort in trying to romance her.
I thought that was a little bit sad. She was like, I just want the same level of romance.
Yeah, but she said the same effort too, which everybody's relationship will be different, but his effort could be the same. Why isn't it? But it doesn't sound like any of them were making an effort.
No.
None of them can even remember the last time that they went out.
And I kind of got from that segment, too, they were saying they don't normally do overnights.
Well, Tyler, I hate to break it for you, buddy, but all Taya's going to want to do is sleep. This is the one night she gets where there's not a crying baby waking up.
Yeah, she's crashing. She's like, PJs, get some popcorn, maybe watch a movie, then I'm going to sleep.
I'm surprised she's awake in the car.
I know.
I would have had my eye mask on and been snoring.
Me too. And, and then she says something, I think they're in a chair interview maybe, and she said something really interesting. She said she doesn't really know if she's interested in being intimate or anything tonight. She doesn't want to let him down. And if she's not connecting with him through sex and romance, well, she doesn't really know how to connect with him.
I thought that was interesting, too. I mean, I see them all having so much more in common than just the physical part, but that's the way that they feel their connection. So when Taya says that Alysia and Sean stayed home for us, we ought to do it for them. And Tyler looks and says, well, what do you mean do it? And then she goes, I haven't been wooed yet. And then Tyler's going, woo, woo. I mean, they're both just so goofy.
I know.
I'm goofy too. I think it's hilarious.
I'm goofy too.
But they have that in common. Not everybody is goofy. definitely are not everybody's taste.
No, I'm an extremely sarcastic person, so it takes a very certain kind of personality to get me. Like, I hate texting people because I use a lot of emojis. Otherwise, they don't know if I'm serious or joking or being sarcastic.
Only old people use emojis. I'm just kidding.
I'm old, Lauren. I'm old. I think I had a fuck you for that too.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Just pulled it out of your pocket. Yep, there it is. Wow, that's so special. You know what? I'm usually a lot goofier, but I'm drugged up on cold medicine right now.
Yeah.
So that both of the ladies think that Tyler's the romantic one. I don't see Sean as romantic. He seems like more of a practical guy. Like, you would think he's cute because he knows about investing and he organizes, doing things to take care of you, making you dinner, going grocery shopping, not physical touch necessarily.
He's the guy that's going to attract the girl that looks at those things as romantic.
That's my idea of romance.
Yeah, do my laundry, clean my house, go to the grocery store.
Now, sometimes I just think like romantic gestures are very cheesy.
I do too. I'm not a flowers and chocolate kind of person.
Third party embarrassment. Yeah, those big romantic gestures, I'm not that. I'm more practical.
Yeah, I have to say, I agree with you on that. Wash my car. That way I know you love me.
I make fun of these kind of dates. Don't take me on one of them. So Tyler and Taya go to this resort, or I don't know if it's an Airbnb. I don't know what it is. Little villas.
It looked like an Airbnb or something like that.
It's called Depot Bay, Oregon. I guess I'm saying that right. It's cute. It definitely is a West Coast beach. There's a lot of cliffs. And the Airbnb has this cute bohemian vibe. And Taya says that being on the coast is a breath of fresh air, which, yeah, anytime you're on the coast and you've got that salt water.
The beach is my healing place. Like, whenever I'm stressed, depressed, I just want to stick my toes in the sand and listen to the ocean.
So Tyler, he's sprinkling rose petals on the bed. He's got soft music, soft lighting. What kind of music do you think he's playing?
I don't know. I wasn't even paying attention to the music. I was just thinking, oh my gosh, so cheesy again.
It is so cheesy. No, we didn't see what music he's playing. I was just going to take a guess. Like maybe he's R&B or something.
I completely...
Little Casey and JoJo.
Should have been, I can't think of, Barry White. Barry White.
Yes. But Taya's not feeling it. Her boobs hurt. She's tired. I told y'all she was tired.
Yep, she's ready for bed.
And I forgot about those hurting boobies and just wanting to pump and sleep.
Well, and you don't necessarily feel like your body is at its sexiest either right after having a baby.
And as far as body paint, like I have to clean paint off of children all day. What makes you think I want to clean it off myself?
I was just sitting there thinking, yuck, you've got to be kidding me.
I mean, I'm sure it's fun, but if you're tired and your boobs hurt and you're trying to get away from like kids and finger paint, that ain't it.
I don't know what scenario that would be fun in, honestly, especially involving sex and body paint. No.
So yeah, I definitely was having the secondhand embarrassment for Tyler, but so was Taya. When he put the eye mask on her,
I was like, what's the blindfold about? I don't normally like think of it as going into just a bedroom with some rose petals on the floor. Like if I'm being blindfolded for something, I would think it would be a lot more exciting, like a new car.
I don't know. I would have questions, and I think Taya did too. She said she felt like an idiot. So I think she even acknowledge that this is a little over the top cheesy. It's cute for some people, but not for everyone.
Not for everyone. Definitely not for me. That's for sure. And not for Taya.
Especially when you're feeling like that. And she tells him no. And Tyler says, what do you mean? He's not sure what he did wrong. It's not you, Tyler. She's exhausted.
Well, and
she's sore.
You would think he would get that. I mean,
well, he
knows
gets every other night off.
True.
She's got every single night. And his boobs aren't sore. Sean's might be. I don't know why they were red last week.
I think you might have hit on it with the nipple clamp.
But I thought it was good. A good suggestion when she went into the bathroom and he says, we can just forget all of that stuff. Nothing has to happen. he was doing that right. He tried a romantic gesture. It didn't work. And it seems, at least from the edit, that he immediately backed off of it. And I get being overwhelmed. It's not only being tired and having sore boobs, but just the hormonal changes postpartum. It's a lot.
Yeah, I think he's finally starting to see that she just needs some love, not necessarily romance and sex, but some love and
Some
understanding.
quality time.
Yeah.
So when she comes out of the bathroom, he says the words that are just magic to my ears. Do you want to put on comfy clothes?
Yes. Get the PJs.
What do you mean put them on? I never took them off. I was like, okay, Tyler's looking better now.
But
Get my
you know,
sweats.
I know. And I have to ask you, I thought she called it a game, but I'm not sure. But what did she call it when she started shoving the marshmallows in his mouth?
I think she said chubby bunny.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, I've heard of it before. Chubby bunny. So you have to see who can stuff the most marshmallows in your mouth. And by the time they got to 5, I was like, stop. Tyler is about to choke. He's about to die. Somebody called Dateline. This is getting serious. You're about to take Tyler out.
Yeah, that bunny was getting pretty chubby.
It was only 5 marshmallows. How many do you think you could stuff in your mouth?
Those look like the standard size marshmallows.
Yeah, the jet puffed ones.
I might be able to get 5. I seriously doubt it.
I want to say I could get like 8. We'll have to test this. Oh my gosh, one of us are going to die. I thought Tyler was.
Yeah, this just went from reality to true crime.
Dead. Well, he survives. I mean, yay, he survives.
He
So
did.
it turned out good.
I don't know if he swallowed those marshmallows or if they came back out. We didn't see that part.
Well, that did look like a fun date. Just hanging out, eating marshmallows in your comfy clothes. Yes, yes, yes. Now, we don't know exactly what's going to happen on that date yet, but when he shuts the door, did you see that look she gave him? She looked him up and down. I was like, uh-oh, I think she's feeling frisky.
She liked watching him eat those marshmallows.
She likes her chubby bunny.
She likes that chubby bunny. She's
So-
like, I changed my mind now.
So back at home, Sean and Alysia are remembering what it's like to be a 2-parent household with 5 little kids screaming and crying.
Well, yes. And I thought it was so reminiscent of my kids in their earlier years when Sean was sitting there with a baby in one hand and a sandwich in the other trying to eat.
What is eating?
I know, right? He was doing it while he was feeding the baby. I mean, otherwise he's probably not going to get anything to eat. That was what was so reminiscent about it.
Yeah, you're just shoving what you can in your mouth, marshmallows, sandwich, whatever it might be, to make it to the next moment. Alysia says she's been doing some research. I completely understand where she's coming from. And I don't think it hurts to get a second or a third opinion. But Googling is not the same as research.
Well, and my point is, the first attorney said basically there's no precedent for this. There's no laws
There's
for
no
this.
law for it.
Yeah.
But I mean, different attorneys may see different things. Again, I don't know the law in Oregon. This is not legal advice. But I wonder about the psychological parent argument. That's something I've wondered about for a few episodes. And maybe we will talk to another attorney and maybe we'll hear some other ideas. It's one of the great things about having different brilliant minds come together. Also, she had never dealt with a polyamory situation. So maybe there is someone who has had some experience or can think of something outside of the box.
It's a good possibility.
It might be talking to a probate attorney to make sure that people are protected through the will. Those are always considerations. But what about powers of attorney? Yeah, I don't know. But I don't think it hurts to get a second opinion. Somebody might have something creative. Somebody might think of another argument. Someone might have had experience with this type of situation. But yeah, Google AI that these are not research. AI, when I try to make AI pictures, they give me like an extra damn hand.
I had everything under the sun if I Googled symptoms every single time I had something wrong with me.
Hypochondriac.
Definitely. That's why I completely avoid Google.
Alysia and Sean are sitting on the couch. They're waiting for Tyler and Taya to come home. It looks like they're maybe looking at Life 360.
Yeah, something on their phone.
Because Sean says they just got into town 7 minutes ago. So I don't know if they texted them or if they're following them on their travels. But Alysia, she forgot how tiring it is to be up with the baby all night. This one night has wiped her out.
Yeah, she's perfectly content from now on, just getting the baby snuggles and kisses during the day.
I'm tired just thinking about it.
Me too. And I was thinking about my daughters going through this now, so it's no fun.
It's no fun. So Taya and Tyler get back, and Taya just looks so happy to see her baby. And Sean goes, he's mad at you.
And
so mean.
It was. And I believe she asked Sean, she's like, are you projecting? Because I think maybe he was projecting, trying to make that baby say he was mad.
See, I think he was making a bad joke, but I think that might explain in part why later on he's like, it's not a big deal. I thought they were going to do stuff. I don't care, because he's not mad. And he was just making a really, really bad joke.
Yeah, that would make sense.
But also, I wonder if he was trying to de-escalate. So basically, when Tyler and Taya get home, Tyler opens up his big old mouth and starts talking about body paint. And Alysia, of course, doesn't want to know the details of their intimacy. And then Tyler starts talking about intimacy. And Alicia's like, stop it. I'm out. I think that Sean was also just trying to de-escalate there. Like, it's okay. It's not a big deal. It's, oh God, no fight. There's babies.
Yeah. Well, and Tyler was also saying that, I didn't realize this until he said it in that clip, that the body paint was edible body paint. So he was actually giving details of like licking it off of Taya.
I still don't want your tongue all over me, giving me a damn bath.
No, but Alysia doesn't want to hear that either. She's made it clear that that is a boundary for her. And here he is, talking about licking it off of her arm. Whatever, Tyler.
You know what, Tyler, just be quiet. Why don't you just tell him about Chubby Bunny?
Yeah. Too much information as far as the body paint goes.
All they needed to hear was the Chubby Bunny game.
Yeah. And that all it takes for Taya to feel sexy is for him to say no pressure.
Well, she doesn't want to hear that.
I was being sarcastic.
No. See, you are being Tyler. You're triggering Alysia.
I think maybe
need to know her sexy words.
Yeah. I think maybe Tyler wants her to be upset. Maybe his ego needs her to be upset.
That's gross.
I know. There's so many conversations that should have been had with this relationship when it started.
Well, they do, but Tyler is just blowing through those boundaries.
Yep. Typical Tyler. Just like the blood work.
Yeah, let's not talk about licking body paint off of Taya's arm. And Taya, did you want to tell him about how she like rejected you and cried in the bathroom?
Yeah, he left that out, didn't he?
And you know what? Alysia, it's probably worse in her head than what actually happened. She's probably imagining them having this very romantic night, snuggled up together, no worries at all. But that wasn't the reality of it. It's never that simple.
No, but that's not the picture that he gave her when he started saying this stuff. And she said, because of past hurts and triggers that she's had to work through, how important these boundaries are to her because of that.
But Sean, he really doesn't seem to care. He's like blushing when he's talking about it. And apparently they talk about it all the time. And Alicia's left out of those conversations, and that's her choice. But she didn't realize that was another thing that she's left out of.
Yeah, she didn't realize that they talked about this stuff as frequently as they do. So yet again, something else that she's not included in.
Why does Tyler think this is okay, though? I know that you're used to doing it around Sean and Taya, but you've got to know your boundaries with Alysia. Like when you go to work, you don't have these conversations with your coworkers. And yes, this is your spouse, this is your partner, but this partner has set a similar boundary. I don't understand why he's having trouble respecting that. Well, unless it's production.
It could be production, because he does seem to have a lot of issues with boundaries here lately. You know, the blood test, now this one. And he's Tyler. Like, he just doesn't really think a whole lot about anything.
A lot of thoughts in that pretty little head.
Nope, there's not.
No, he just looks nice. So pretty. You're so pretty.
Stay pretty, Tyler.
Well, also, I guess whether or not body paint is intimate is up for interpretation. I'm just grossed out by it. It's not for everyone. Okay, no, we don't want to yuck anybody's yum. You know, they might have thought it was more funny than intimate.
I can see it being something that they might do as like foreplay or some love play, but to me, that's not something that's intimate at all.
When he said he licked it off her arm, I didn't think it was like, have you ever seen The Room? Gosh,
No.
I'm about to go down a rabbit hole. It's like the best, worst movie ever made. Anyway, there is this really long and uncomfortable romantic scene in it. And that's probably what Alysia is imagining this night was like. I think he probably just licked it off her arm real quick. I think it was more of a joke.
Tay is the one that actually said what it tasted like. Remember? She said it was something like sweet syrup. So she was using it too.
Well, I didn't think she said it tasted like it. I thought she was just describing the texture, but maybe you're right.
I thought she said that it tasted like syrup, sweet syrup.
Better get me some flapjacks for that.
Make some homemade waffles.
So what do you think of the episode?
I think that it's definitely a roller coaster of stuff, but
and it's the same shit, different day.
Yeah. But, hey, the best part was, I have to say, Taya's dad.
Absolutely. You know what? You're right.
Means Mr. Handsome.
I was going to say the attorney part, but no. Taya's family, the family, it really is the best part.
Yeah.
When you see them all appreciating each other and operating together. So, yeah.
And it don't hurt that they're all pretty to look at. Like, there's not an ugly member of her family so far.
Of Taya's family?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. She's got good genes, except for those ones with the big old holes in the legs. All right. Well, we'll see what happens next week. I don't know how much longer the season's going to go.
Yeah. I'm curious to see if Lex comes back into any of these episodes, if she's going to end up being the love interest that we've seen clips of.
Or if they're just having a little flirt mance.
Yeah, they definitely were flirting in that conversation.
Yeah, they were. But she said it's a close quad. I don't think that we would be ready for this. So I think Taya already knows this is off limit.
We'll see. Time will tell.
We'll see. Is the edit tricking us? Because we are going to see her in the future. We see them sliding together. We don't see them kissing or doing anything intimate, though, which makes me think that maybe it's just the edit.
It's possible. Or it could be, like you said, one storyline's going to die out and maybe another one come in.
Yeah, maybe. I don't think so. I think they're in their quad. I think they're pretty secure in their quad. I think this is just a storyline.
I think this is just the drama that TLC needs.
Well, they need something.
Yeah.
So later this week, we're going to cover the Diddy Dateline. This was from almost 2 weeks ago. I was going to do it over the weekend, but I was sick. Also, we're going to bring the Toxic Season 1, Episode 2. Season 1, Episode 1 was so good. What'd you think?
It was amazing.
So yeah, Toxic Season 1, Episode 2. We'll try to get that out this week as well. So our original plan was just to do one show a week. Just to do the Polyfamily on Wednesdays and see how that worked out. But as this show was maybe not what we hoped it would be, not quite as exciting and sexy as one would think, I decided to go ahead and open up some of the true crime. We can also look at some reality TV shows. I know I've mentioned to Liz potentially covering 90 Day Hunt for Love. We've got a lot of different things we're talking about. But for now, you can always expect a Polyfamily episode on Wednesday. And then we're going to try to put other content out during the week. It just kind of depends on what our schedules are like. Liz, super busy until June. Then she says she's going to have some time. What I've told her is just let me know when you want to record something and we'll hop on and record it. That's what to expect. So another week of Polyfamily in the books. All right, Channel Surfers, thank you for listening. Let us know what you think. Please give us a 5-star review. Make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you next week. Actually, we'll probably see you later this week, but we'll definitely see you next Wednesday. I think it's not see you next Tuesday. Okay, I'm going to let that one pass. All right, bye.
See you later. Let's ride.
Don't delay. Remote